Welcome, and here we are again.
Who's this intruder?
I'm Dr. Cool.
Oh, and I'm
Who are
Lewis
you?
Moon. Yeah, I'm Lewis Moon. This is my channel,
I've
actually.
not been on a video for a long time, so I thought I would fight my way into your room and prepare to launch my views on an unsuspecting public.
You did think you were going to do that, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, and you are.
Shall I move up a little bit for you? Here
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi.
I'm still only going to sit on the
Yes.
on the side.
He sits on the throne of Who fandom.
So what's this video about?
So,
Starring me, Dr. Cool.
And me, Lewis Moon. So today we are going to be discussing the top 5 episodes that are better on a rewatch, and Deco's going to share some thoughts because I think he's seen all of these.
Okay.
So he may not have seen them all twice.
So
He's seen a couple twice, I think.
So just to clarify, I'm not going to be giving my top 5. You're just going to be giving yours. I'm just going to give some thoughts.
And you can give some honourable mentions if you think of any others that,
Okay.
If you think of any others that come to mind.
Will do. Alright.
Okay, so at number 5 in the list, one that may surprise you and many other viewers.
Yep.
Is an awful episode. Well, no, it's not an awful episode. It was just better on a rewatch than memory. We watched it last week, actually.
Oh.
It was Underworld.
Yeah.
Now, I put this one in because even though it's absolutely awful, it was better than I remember it. And it was slightly underrated, I think.
I think it is underrated, yeah. I mean, I've only seen this one once. That was the first time I'd ever seen it. And obviously you'd mentioned that it was really low down in the polls.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I didn't think it was anywhere near as bad as what people made it out to be. I thought it was a little bit slow. I think it was a bit long. I don't think it needed to be four parts at all. But as a story and as a concept, it was actually quite a good idea.
It was, and part 1 was really interesting.
Part 1 was good, yeah, I liked it. So I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that.
Number 4 is one that's completely the opposite. It was an absolute classic, but this isn't best episodes. This is episodes that were better on memory, on rewatch.
Yeah.
And I put in The Web of Fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so The Web of Fear was a classic, and I remember loving it when I first watched it. However, I didn't appreciate how much of a classic it really was. I think now, getting slightly older, I think I appreciated it more.
Yeah.
The fact that it's a real classic, and even the missing episode, although it's quite a pain, it doesn't bother me as much in Telesnaps.
Yeah, I would mirror most of the thoughts on that. I didn't have the benefit of mentally growing up any more really, so I've already got as mentally grown up as I'm ever going to get probably. It's all downhill from here to me. But I loved watching it for the second time around actually. I think probably I preferred it as well. The only thing I would say is I probably preferred the final part more last time. The final part this time didn't feel as good.
The Yeti battle's brilliant.
Yeah, no, there is. Yeah.
What's your favourite sequence?
Probably the Yeti battle actually.
Yes.
I really like it.
And Professor Trappers.
And the very opening of it, I really like the creepiness, the horror feel of episode 1.
The sequence in the sort of museum sort of place with the collector.
But I did think, and I didn't really get this the first time I watched it. Watching it again, I did get that feeling that it was all solved a little bit quickly.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah. And seeing so the Great Intelligence was this great threat, he was actually beaten quite
Do you think it was
easily.
a couple of parts too long, or do you think
No,
it was
not really, I don't
length?
think. I think it was a really good length. Very
Yes.
much so.
At number 3, I put in a story called Into the Dalek, which is a Peter Capaldi one. Now, Deco, you haven't had the benefit of watching this one twice, but I'm sure, because of a little tactic we have on our podcast, we can randomly pick one. So next week we've got another random Peter Capaldi episode that we're going to give another go, which is Flatline. But otherwise, Into the Dalek, I think, was much better on Rewatch, and I think this and Time Heist, they were both much better from this series, and I enjoyed them slightly more, because I thought they weren't great on first watch. I think they were really meh episodes. They still felt like meh episodes, but they felt better, you know? They felt like good episodes, rather than overly meh episodes.
So on a meh score of 0 to 5, they're only sort of 0 meh or 1 meh rather than 5 meh.
Yes,
Does that sound right?
I think so. Maybe 2 mehs.
I think the thing is with Into the Dalek, I probably enjoyed that episode when I watched it more than I was expecting to.
Yeah.
So, having not had the benefit of a second view, it's probably unfair of me to say too much. But I liked a lot of the supporting characters and things. I can't remember the name. There was a woman in it.
Journey Blue.
Yeah, I liked her character.
I liked her too. And number 2 was another episode recently we watched together on the podcast. And most of these are from 2017, because most of them in recent memory have been better on a rewatch. Girl Who Waited, which I thought was initially quite a meh episode and a gap episode in the series, like most of the episodes in Series 6. Yeah. I may decide to take that remark back, but I think I agree. And The Girl Who Waited is not a meh episode. It is a good episode, and it's really well done, and it's one of Karen Gillan's finest moments, I think. It's quite emotional, and yeah, it's a brilliant piece of television, I think.
Yeah, I would agree on that one, I think, because I have seen that one twice. First time round, I wouldn't say it passed me by, but it certainly wasn't a standout from the season. Whereas actually, probably now, looking at that season, I'd probably rank that pretty much near the top.
Really?
For that season, yeah.
Oh yes. I thought you meant the series as a whole. Now I did a feature called the Modern Who Series Ranking.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, and I put Series 6 near the bottom of the Who meter. Do you agree that it's one of the weaker series? I've actually got the Who meter in my hand here to show Dr. Cool. So I did put it down here in the chart, which is really low down.
Yeah.
Down there, sorry.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you agree that is that low? Or?
I don't think it's a brilliant season. I think it's quite confused, isn't it? I think it probably, from what we've read, it probably suffered under the strain of the 50th a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
But I do think that The Girl Who Waited is a really strong story with a great dilemma in it.
Yes.
And an interesting threat.
Yes, I agree.
No, I like it.
Before we go into number 1, are there any honourable mentions that you'd like to pick out? I'll know or not. That you think of?
Oh, see, it's very difficult off the top of my head.
It is very difficult.
I've not given any thought to it.
It's just thoroughly you invaded the environment.
Yeah. Not anything that comes straight off the top of my head.
That's okay, don't worry.
I did think of one just a minute ago whilst we were talking, but it didn't stick in my brain.
Yes.
But it was another Matt Smith one.
That's
I think actually probably I find more often than not episodes deteriorate rather than get better. There's quite a few I think where when I've watched them second time round they're not as good as I.
Yes, and we will do a video on that at some point. At number 1, I chose Tooth and Claw. Now, you haven't watched this one twice, but you watched it very recently with me.
Yeah.
I didn't like Tooth and Claw too much. I mean, I liked Tooth and Claw, but it wasn't one of my favourites. And in Series 2, which is again one of the weaker series, I thought again maybe it was one of the weaker ones in the bottom half of them. However, now I come to think that it is one of my favourites from Series 2. It's got a great pace, it's got some great excitement factors, and I really enjoyed watching Tooth and Claw. And yeah, it was a very interesting watch because I loved it a lot more than I was expecting to, because it had a very different mood and atmosphere to Memory, so I really enjoyed it.
I think it was a good fun one, wasn't it? A good fun, actiony one.
One of the best episode 2s, I would say.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Does it break the typical episode 2 barrier?
But normally they are very throwaway, aren't they? Very disposable words. You could say that it's still fairly disposable, I guess, but it's got a lot of excitement with it. The monster's pretty impressive. Yeah, I like it.
Yes.
The only thing I didn't like with that one was the Queen Victoria stuff.
With Torchwood as well.
And Torchwood, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt the... I don't know, it felt a bit clumsy arc-wise for me.
Yes.
But you know, that's just my own personal opinion.
Okay.
But it's certainly a very watchable episode.
And in my list, you've only watched two twice. The Web of Fear versus The Girl Who Waited. Which one was better on a rewatch, do you think?
Probably the biggest impact was The Girl Who Waited, actually.
Yeah.
Just because it passed me by so much the first time round. And I really enjoyed that one a lot. A lot this time.
Yeah. I hope you've enjoyed the list today, and I hope I would like to know whether you agree with them. So if you have any thoughts on episodes that are better on a rewatch, please comment below, and please like and subscribe, and talk to us about your favourite episodes on a rewatch, and also maybe your worst episodes on a rewatch, because we're going to be doing that in next video, and I will be probably joined by Dr. Cool once again.
Hopefully so.
He won't be an intruder next time, because I will invite him.
Okay.
So thank you for joining me, Dr. Cool.
Thank you for having me.
I've been Lewis Moon.
I've been D-Cool.
And we will see you next time. Same time.
Same space.
Goodbye!
Bye.